Welcome to another edition of Lott Help with James Lott Jr. I'm James Lott Jr., and that's Lott with two T's, not one. And you can follow me at lotsofhelp.com. I'm a certified life coach, professional organizer, super organizer, and also media personality and interviewer and host. Now, as many of you may know, on this channel I have, JLJ Media, I have a podcast called IAB Cal Voices, which talks about insurance. I love insurance. I used to work in insurance. There's some people who are doing some amazing things in the field of insuring products, people, places, everything. I have a great guest today who has a great name, of course. I'm gonna get her stuff first. I got paper right here. She is a longtime insurance specialist. She's been around for a while. She's the founder, president, and CEO of U-PIC Insurnce Services, Inc., where she provides leadership and direction of overall culture of the organization. She's also a member of the Women's Presidents Organization and the Parcel Shipping Organization. And we're going to talk to her about insuring at-home learning devices. Nowadays, we're at home, especially those of us in LA. We are at home with our children, and you know how kids can be, and some adults. I'm clumsy sometimes too. And we're going to talk about how important it is to insure products during this time, especially during this time period and going forward. Help me welcome Miss Bliss Landon. Landon. I'm going to blink for a second. Bliss Landon. How are you, Bliss?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure. And first of all, how are you doing today? How are you doing these days in this time?
I'm doing fantastic. Staying healthy and staying busy.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So, Miss Landon, so you did something that I think is very clever and also useful, which is that's how we do things. I have a friend who years ago started seeing taco trucks. I was like, all these taco trucks. I mean, they've been around for years, but suddenly you saw a proliferation of more of them. He worked in insurance. He worked in home insurance, but he also had some this experience in auto insurance.
Mm.
I was like, at the time, this was like 10, 11, 12 years ago, there was nothing going on for food trucks. So now he's the leader, just let's cut to now, the leader in food truck insurance.
Oh, I bet.
Something I never thought of. Your thing, same thing, at-home learning devices, tablets, laptops. We're using computers, keyboards that now kids are using. And now you're
Yes.
talking about providing insurance and coverage. We're going to talk about these different things. I love that, Bliss. I love that. What a great idea. So first of all, let's talk about you a little bit. You've been in insurance
Okay.
for how long? Have you been doing insurance? And then in the field?
31 years.
Wow.
31 years.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't believe that. I'm sorry. You must be. I don't understand. You must start when you were 9. I don't even understand what you're talking
I
about.
was 9.5 years old when I
A
got
prodigy.
started.
You're a prodigy. You're a prodigy. And so I always say insurance is something that everyone can use. It's kind of recession proof. It's COVID proof. It's like everybody needs insurance, correct?
Yeah, it's always been able to stand the test of the times. Whatever's going on in the world, you still need insurance. It's still something that everyone needs for one thing or another, and we survive in those circumstances.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And so now, did you have people in insurance? Are you a second generation insurance person, or are you completely first generation in the insurance
Well,
industry?
okay, I'll tell you how I got started in insurance.
Okay, please.
My okay, my dad, Marv Landon, he had a third-party logistics company. So back in the day when I first got started, he was in arranging shipments or orchestrating the shipments of water for oil companies, let's say. So oil companies ship a lot of water, believe it or not.
Oh,
And
okay.
he would organize the shipment of that. And that was kind of his core business. He had a back room where they would, actually, contract with the carriers and move the shipments from A to B. Okay.
Got
So
it.
he did large volume shipments of stuff. Okay. Then he got into the small package world. Okay, so he started doing zone skipping, which if you were from that era and you were from that kind of business, you would know what zone skipping was. And that was when small parcel carriers like FedEx, UPS would gather large shipments, meaning multiple packages, and they would zone skip them to the other side of the country. Okay. And in that zone skip, they would experience, a better pricing and getting the packages there, and then giving them back to the carrier for local delivery, which really helped in the cost of that whole thing. So anyway, at that time, he came across a company that is my number one competitor, and they've been in business since I've been alive. And my dad actually went to them and said, "Hey, we want to start selling your insurance. We're in the small parcel, part of the business, and we want to offer your insurance as an added, feature to the other things that we do for shippers." And they said, he said, I want you to share revenue with us. We'll bring you opportunities, give us a commission. And they said, no deal. We're not doing that. We're not going to give
Oh,
you any commission. You can give us business, but we're not going to give you any fee for the referral.
okay.
So my dad said, okay. So he went over this whole exercise with someone that he knew in the shipping industry, a broker at the time. And the guy said, you know what, it's 2 o'clock and you have a policy. Do the insurance yourself. So he started doing the small parcel insurance himself, and he was able to, find customers that had a significant amount of volume and could give them a discount on their insurance with FedEx, UPS, later on the post office. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, he had a hard time getting it off the ground. He didn't have a lot of manpower to put towards this product because his other part of the business, the logistics company, was growing and very busy. So he asked me to come in and work for him and try to get this thing off the ground. So I got involved in some associations that did, you know, some other things in that small parcel industry. Whether it be label printing or manufacturing boxes or rate shopping for carriers or any of that kind of thing. So I got involved in that. I was 22 years old. I was traveling the country by myself, trying to get this thing off the ground.
Wow.
And I did. I got it off the ground. And so we just, slowly but surely started growing the business. And that's been the core of U-PIC is shipping insurance. So we insure large volume shippers of stuff. It could be, any of those tchotchkes in your background there.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And anything, you name it. And that's our core business. So
Yeah.
then fast forward to about 5, 6 years ago, I have a person named Michelle who works for me, and her daughter had a school issued iPad.
Okay.
And one day it didn't work. She dropped it and it wouldn't work anymore. And she thought, Guy, we should insure these things
Oh my,
because
that's
it
so
was working
funny.
for us at the time
Yeah.
on just the U-PIC side. So anyway, that's kind of how it all came to be, was finding this need of devices. And that's how I got started anyway, is in, with that background with the small parcels. So we were already doing electronics and computer parts and, um, any of those kind of commodities out there.
Well, it's funny because that's a great story. That's a great story, and I love how just your father had the same kind
Sorry,
of.
I kind of started rambling, but
No, no,
yeah.
no. Okay, that's a great story because it's like it shows that you have the same spirit your father did. It's like he was kind of told just do it yourself, and he did it himself, and he grew something
Yeah.
out of that, and was doing it himself. I mean, a lot of times we got to do it ourselves, but people say no, you do it yourself, and you have the same spirit.
Well, yeah, and you do something for a long time and you think, oh, I should expand this business and get into other markets of insurance. And this just kind of fell in our lap. It was an idea. We brought it in. Yeah, we can do that. We've been doing that. We've been doing the shipping on that. So why couldn't we insure it when it's in the hands of the students? And that's kind of how it just morphed into this incredible product.
Yeah, no, it's very organic. No, I mean, it's also because it also falls into the like when I was a renter. I own my own house now. When I was a renter, I was told about renter's insurance.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they do think, well, why would I rent my own stuff in my house? Like, there's a reason for it. Like, so you're right, bringing it into the home where you are most of the time. When now this day and age, I mean, this before was different. Especially now, you're using your stuff more. The wear and
Exactly.
tear, like you said, dropping on the floor by accident, whatever can happen. breaking it, may possibly chipping it, whatever. It all can happen so easily now with multiple people being at home.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what's happening today. But at the time, we were just thinking about how technology is ever changing and growing, and how kids were getting more, accustomed to using their computers at home from their parents. Or I remember my daughter playing on my computer with her pacifier in her mouth. I mean, you know, that's what our kids were doing. They were starting to learn technology, so it only made sense that technology was going to be implemented at the school level, and not just for high schoolers, but even on down to kindergartners, because that's what's happening. Is that's a learning tool now. That's our biggest learning tool, is electronics.
Yeah.
It's not books anymore. It's books on electronics, but it's not the physical book. So at the time we were thinking, oh, this could be a really good product, because we see that happening. It's just a natural progression of what's happening in the industry. But then COVID hit, and now we're seeing it even more, and it's such a huge demand to
Oh,
have at-home devices. I mean, the kids just have to have them.
so
So
is one distinction I need to figure out. Is this for so some schools provide, some will say,
yeah,
okay, we'll provide you laptops or provide you iPads, whatever. Some don't. Some
right.
you get yourself. So is this coverage for both?
We
Because or
really we haven't expanded the coverage for just, one-off people wanting insurance. We are going to do that eventually, but right now we're focused on the districts. There's so many children out there in school districts across the country that they're on the free lunch program,
yeah.
and and they're getting devices issued by the school, and they have to take care of those devices. It's really important for them to have insurance. It's so much less expensive for them to pay, let's say, $20 for insurance for the year, than for their child to break the device and have to shell out, $200 or $300 to get it replaced. So that's kind of where we're focused right now, is at the district level.
Okay.
The districts can offer it to parents, where parents can buy from us through the district, one at a time, or the district can do a district purchase and buy it for all their students, the insurance. It's very good for the districts to purchase the insurance, because number one, a lot of them have the money to do so. It promotes the learning at home. It takes the pressure off the parent of having to be responsible for that device, should it get broken. It also keeps the longevity of the device, keep it running for years to come. And then at the end of the life of the device, and they want to purchase more devices, a new current model, they'll have devices that are in good working order, and they can get top dollar for the parts. So they'll turn those. There's a lot of companies out that buy the parts, and then they use that money to purchase new devices. So
Right.
it all works hand in hand. But our biggest concern is for the child to be able to have that learning device at home, and at an affordable cost, and that they're covered.
So mainly, so if I can understand this, so literally you're working with the districts, working with the school districts, and
Yes.
the insurance goes through them. So me at home,
Right.
I mean, I have grandkids, so my grandchild drops the phone that they gave him or whatever, or put one example, spills glue on it or something. They
That
contact
happens.
the
Yeah.
district. They, I know we know what happens, right? We know what happens. Um,
Right.
you contact the district, the school that you get it from, and they actually can handle it all, right? They handle the insurance, right? So then the parent it feels good, have to worry about all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I got shut out $300. The school has to worry about
Right.
stuff. So that's how it works, right?
Exactly. That's how it
Okay.
works. Yeah.
Okay.
And now that it's at such a high level, the districts are spending a lot of money on the devices. They want them to be used properly and paid for. And before, they may have had half of the amount of devices, or a quarter, and they were doing their own in-house repairs, and they were,
Oh,
or
right.
they were taking in a broken device, and they were reissuing one that was working, but they wouldn't get the device that they took in repaired. So with the larger numbers, they just don't even know what to do with themselves at this point. So
Yeah.
we provide a solution for them on how to get the device repaired. We walk them through the whole process. We have companies that'll pick up the devices, repair them, bring them back. They can issue them to the school. We have mail-in programs where the parents can put the device in a box and ship it.
Okay.
We have many ways to work with the district and the parents to make it as easy as possible and as much downtime, as little downtime as possible, so that the kids always have a device to learn on.
Which is very important because
Yes.
I'm going through something right now through AT&T. I have my hard drive and my receiver died apparently. I have to wait 5 days
Oh,
till I get another one. So I have no television for 5 days. So
oh
that's
wow.
not
Yeah,
good.
that's
So,
not good.
and so yeah, so I figured to relate this to what you're talking about. Yeah, if an iPad gets damaged, they still gotta go to school tomorrow. I mean, there's
That's
still
that's
lessons to
right.
learn. There's
And
still
they're still going to get homework tomorrow, to do
right.
tomorrow night. Yeah,
Right. So you don't need
exactly.
something right away.
Right.
I like the idea. Now, when it comes to damage, what is covered? Like that's something that people are going to ask me. Like, well, does it mean when they drop it on the ground or they spill food on it? Because at home, presumably they could be eating food. Snacks get inside the keyboard. Like, what is covered
Well,
generally?
that's all covered. What you just mentioned is covered.
Oh
If
yes,
you,
and
it,
yes, yes.
that's kind of the fun part of this whole thing is finding out the various ways that claims can
Woo,
occur.
I'm
I
sure.
mean,
I'm sure.
we have a
The
video actually
dog.
on our the dog that can happen, but we have a video on our website, and it's real things that occur where the kid comes home. This is when they were at school. They come home, they have the device in their backpack, and they chuck the device in the house to go run and get a snack,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, so it crashes on the floor, it gets broken, and or there's a bottle of water inside the backpack and that bursts open, and a lot of water damage inside backpacks, believe it or not.
Oh no, I believe it. I believe
I know. We've had parents run over the devices with their cars. That
it.
happens a lot. They'll put the device on the top of the car like you would like a cup of coffee, and you drive off with it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, same thing. Yeah. But the at home has been more spilled glue, spill in a bowl of cereal, a
Yeah.
glass of milk. Keys pop off of the keyboard just for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Where there's snow in the colder areas of the country, they'll use their backpack to brace their fall if they're going somewhere with the backpack, and that becomes, they break their fall with it, and they break the device
Yeah.
on top of it. Um, just if you can think about it happening, it probably has happened a few times.
That's hilarious. I'm thinking about stuff already. I carry a backpack and I'm like, I thought I had the top on something
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
it
that's so common. Yeah.
oh
Oh yeah. That happens a lot. A lot of water damage.
yeah,
Um, the screens can crack. That's probably our biggest. The number one claim is screens breaking. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, screens. All right, I'm not thinking of all different things that I can tell them happen. So now age wise, when you say school, does this also count? Do you work with colleges at all now?
We
Besides,
do. Yeah,
oh,
we
okay,
work with colleges. Yeah. We're not so saturated in that area, but we do have some. We have some charter schools, and then
okay,
private schools, public schools. Yeah.
okay.
And yeah, and some schools have rules where, let's say that your first grader was issued a device, okay, and they get that device until they graduate in fifth grade, okay, to move
Okay,
on to middle school.
okay, yeah,
And the school may tell them, because all the schools have different rules, that this is your device. If you have 3 claims, you're done. That's it. You can't have any more claims. So on your fourth claim, you really do it this time and you break the device pretty good, you can't turn it in. So the parents have to pay for it. So we have unlimited claims.
I was going to ask you that. That's my next because
Yeah.
this kid,
Yeah.
kid.
Unlimited claims.
Okay,
Of course, and it all, we do loss, theft, accidental damage,
okay.
water damage, everything you can think of.
Acts of God. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, right. I mean, do you have that in there? Like, if there's a hurricane or an earthquake or something, is that in there? Or, I mean, I don't know, right? I mean,
It could be. I really don't know on that one. I'll have to look that
yeah.
up.
No, so I'm just
My, you
I
know,
just wonder. I'm
my
making jokes, but I was kind of like, I mean,
I don't think acts of God are covered, to be honest, but yeah, they're not for U-PIC. I can tell you that much.
I know. No, it's one of that phrase kills me anyway because I used to do like contracts. It was always like acts of God, force majeure, acts of God, all that kind of stuff. I love
Yeah,
that.
like acts of God, terrorist
Yes,
acts,
yes, yeah.
those usually are typically not
I
covered.
know,
Yeah.
right, this way. But
Yeah.
I was joking. I was kind of like, wait a minute, but what if there is a? I mean, but so it's mostly human error, human handling.
Involved. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if, if something gets stolen, we want you to get a police report.
Good.
Um,
Okay. Good. No. Good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
No false claims, people. We don't want to do that.
oh yeah, yeah, because that does happen,
I know.
unfortunately.
Right.
But we also can limit policies to loss and theft only.
Okay.
And so we can really customize the coverage to what the school's needs
Oh,
are, or what they think their parents want.
okay.
We might have two options for the parents. They could have full coverage or loss and theft only, depending on what they want to pay for, that kind of thing.
So almost like an. Oh, is it? Well, is it almost? You can almost a la carte it. Like you can go, okay, you want these 5 things. We can make that happen in the policy, right? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do that. We just have to discuss it up front. But yes, we can customize. Depending on what the district's needs are, or what they think the parents will pay for.
okay.
There might be a price point where they say, hey, our parents are not going to buy that.
Yeah.
They're just not going to pay for that. So we might limit the coverage, but do the really important things that cost money, like loss and theft.
That's a
That
big
would be
one.
expensive. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm thinking loss, especially. You left it in the car, and then the car you left on the bench, and you ran to the car.
Oh yeah.
I had kids. I know. I just know all the stuff that happens. Oh my god,
That's right. That's right.
it's always something. I mean, I just and that is this feels like an alleviation of a potential nightmare. I feel like this coverage feels like.
It is. I mean, just like any insurance, it just gives you that security of knowing that it's covered. And, I don't know, sometimes when you don't purchase something on for the district side, when the parents are not actually responsible for the device at the end of the day, it gives the district's peace of mind too, because now they're covered. So it's just from both angles. It's just a good way to go all the way around for security and
I was
for
gonna say
comfort.
that. I'm saying at least the districts, like you say, especially they get to relax and go, okay, whew, it's covered.
Right.
Something happens.
Right.
But I just know that with kids, anything is. I want to stress that to everybody watching, listening to this podcast. If you know anything is possible, and
Anything is
parents,
possible.
hurried parents. A lot of it, you're busy. You're trying to do 10 things at once. You're running around. You may have multiple kids. You may have all
Exactly.
kinds of stuff. I mean, so it's just and our device. I drop my phone all the time. I got to
Oh,
cover.
I do too. I do too. And it's terrible. And my kids do it. And and that's so true. And by the way, cases are very important. Cases are good. Cases are very good.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Cases really help the situation for devices too. For Chromebooks, laptops, iPads, cases are a good thing. Yes.
Yes, and I tell people you can find them. They're not all expensive. You can find nice, affordable cases for your stuff. You just gotta look.
Yes. And
It's
we
out there. Right?
Yeah, we've actually partnered with some case companies recently, and we're going to be offering two different price points, one with a case, one without a case. And of course, the one with the case, it's a better deal
That's
all the way
great.
around.
Let's see.
Yeah.
You're my kind of girl, Bliss. You are just like I'm gonna cover it all. But which is really, I mean, the whole point is to make everything easier for people, right? So
Right.
to make things more just like so you don't have to think that hard. That it's at your fingertips, so to speak, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And, I don't think things are going to be changing anytime real soon.
Like, so either.
And so the at home learning is still going to be very important. And, some of the districts are getting the CARES Act money to help out with the expenses of, providing their districts with devices. And so we don't see that slowing down at all. There's been some problems with getting devices in from China. They've been held up at customs for various reasons. And so we're experiencing right now that a lot of districts are now getting their devices that they ordered back in August, September. So the insurance is just starting to be, something that is on the forefront every month. Typically, it's seasonal for the beginning of school and the end of school. But
Yeah.
now we're seeing it as a very viable thing all year round. That schools are looking to turn to this. They're trying to get devices, trying to get them in, get them deployed to their students, and we're staying very busy.
Good. I'm very glad. I think this is very clever, very smart, very useful. Um, School device coverage. I think it's great. Thank you, Bliss, for coming on the show and explaining that. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank
No,
you.
my pleasure. It's a great idea. So tell folks where they can find you and your company and everything, online, and if they want to talk to you more about this.
We're yeah, we're online. We have a website, of course, at schooldevicecoverage.com. Give us a look at, and we have a form that can be filled out and sent over to us for a free quote. We're happy to look at anybody who's interested in this. Parents, if you're listening to this, tell your school districts to hit us up, and we'll get a program implemented for them in no time.
And you could do across the country or California or where.
Across the country, we're across the country. Yeah,
It's good to know, folks.
exactly.
I
So
got people from everywhere.
excellent. So any state, any school district, any size, any device, we're here for you.
Very good. I like that. Bliss Landon,
Yeah.
folks. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow us on all social media platforms at James Lott Jr. or JLJ Media. This show is on my online network, which is JLJ Media on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe there. I have over 35 shows ranging from Star Wars to soaps and stuff like this. And also my audio channels on every single audio streaming service from iHeartRadio to Spotify, Google, Apple, Deezer, all of them. Find a lot of help. And please share this interview if you know somebody or school district needs to know about this or school needs to know about this. Share it, share it, share it. If you're a little nervous and are afraid to contact her first, you can contact me and I will get you in touch with her and we can work that out however it is you need to get this going. But I feel like this is such a great coverage that I think people need to do this, especially now during the COVID times. Everybody's at home, learning at home. And always stay safe out there, stay calm. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere in the universe, and we'll see you all next time.